All right, yeah, peace reflections. We are going to get into this Neptune and Pisces retrograde. It went retrograde last night, stationed at 27 degrees. And so this is going to be an interesting one. This will be, I believe, until December 6th, if I'm not mistaken. Please do your own research. I'm going to give it some time for people to come in as well. But just having to breathe. This is really going to be an interesting one. So definitely if you have any Pisces in your chart, this is definitely going to highly impact you. This is going to impact a lot of different signs. Capricorn with the Saturn. I would even say Aquarius with Saturn placements, but not as much. Of course, the opposite sign of the polar, Virgo. A lot of people don't necessarily always agree with that. I do. I look at them as one and the same. And so if one side of the scale is being tilted, it's definitely going to affect the other side of the scale. And so even though we are speaking in planets, the planet is in Pisces. And the reason I mentioned with Saturn is because Saturn is also in Pisces. Okay. So really, really important energy there. So I will look at your Saturn placements. I will look at your Neptune placements, especially if you have like Neptune in Capricorn. That is going to be a big thing, right? Because you're going to be impacted both with Neptune and Saturn energy, right? To a certain degree, not in the greatest, like if you were Saturn in Pisces, right? Saturn in Pisces is definitely going to feel this energy a lot because, Saturn is with discipline, with morality, with restrictions and, boundaries and whatnot, right? It's also karmatic contracts, right? And then Neptune can be illusionary at times, but it's also the deep subconscious minds. And so I don't want to get y'all too lost in translation, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But what I will say is, with Neptune going into retrograde, now more than ever do you want to pay attention to your water source. What is going on in the ocean? What is going on in the rivers? What is going on in your local drinking water? Okay. For those of you who are interested in getting, cleaner water, living water into your home, please feel free to message me and we can discuss a little bit further those details, because there's going to be a lot of changes when it comes down to water. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get more and more news in regards to, new species coming up, right, from the ocean, like new discoveries in a way, or more oceanic type of messages. Also paying attention to your dreams. But the waters, there could be a lot more turbulent waters, more being mindful of contaminations to the water. So this is a time period of regulating the water so that nurturing the water and feeding the water what she needs for to provide for us as well, because it can be the quote that's coming onto my head is darn it, it was just there. As calm as the sea. I can't, it's going right over me now. It's something along the lines of like, I can be as calm as the sea or chaotic as a hurricane or something like that. And I'm totally butchering it. I'll see if I put it in the description. It's one of my, it's so weird that I don't recall it right now. But yes, memory recall. For the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of crown chakra activities as well, and womb activities. So how I'm feeling that is there's going to be a lot of communication between the sacral and the ajna, which is the third eye chakras, okay, and that communication is really going to amplify your intuition. So heightened senses of intuition, a lot more clarity rather than confusion, and a lot of prophetic dreams will be downloaded into the collective. And this is only for a little bit, right? Because there's going to be other placements that's going to come in. And of course, everyone's chart is different. So it really depends on what your placements are. However, I feel like this is going to be a lot of news surrounding water sources. And again, we've kind of seen that with like Avatar, the water beings, right? And then also Black Panda, where they were introducing the water beings. And so there's a lot that's going to be happening in regards to news with the water. We kind of already seen that with like the submarine, and this is also going to impact your currency, and the lunar nodes are going to be shifting soon, which is why I said there are other things at play. And again, the moon, it rules over the currents of the water, right? And so with the moon ruling over the currents of the water and all this water energy playing a big part with Pisces, right? This is deep, deep, deep waters being moved, like the deep bottom of the ocean, things coming up with Neptune in retrograde. Peace, brother. If you are available, you should definitely jump on here because you are Piscean for real. But the lunar nodes are going to be shifting into Aries, the north node, and the south node in Libra. And so again, this is definitely going to make different changes. But we're not going to talk about that. This is more about Neptune in retrograde. So cleaner water, living water. You want more living water, not necessarily just purified water or distilled water. I mean, distilled water is better if that's all you can get your hands on, but you want to have living waters. You want to check what's going on in your springs, right? Spring water, and again, clean water. So drinking more water, checking the news in regards to that, even with like the fish, being mindful. Yes, being mindful of the seafood that you're eating. And a lot of the times people are going to talk about the fish and this, that, and the third. This also involves the seaweeds, right? So like the sea mosses and stuff like that, because they have so many minerals and vitamins that's so healthy for the body. However, if it's growing in a contaminated or toxic environment, it's not going to be the greatest for us, right? Everyone likes to talk about sea moss and versus like the seafood, and I get it, but it's all in the same waters. There is a big difference, absolutely, but that being said, even the foods that you eat is going to be important because food grows with the water, right? And if the water is contaminated, it starts contaminating the soil, contaminating the foods, etc. Now we know all of this. Pisces can be like a poison at the same time that it can be medicine, right? And so this is why contaminations is going to be really important to pay attention to at this time. Okay, no worries. I'm just talking about Neptune in Pisces retrograde. So if you can, you can. If not, no worries. And I don't plan on staying here long, to be honest. And so, yeah, Pisces, it can be, the medicine that heals you or the poison that destroys you, in a sense, right? And that's just like our food. That's just like our water, and also deep shadow work, addictions. Okay, so people that have been struggling with any form of addictions, whether it's food addictions, sex addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addictions, this is definitely now more than ever a great time to get into sobriety. And more than likely, you're going to kind of get forced into it. The universe is going to create situation after situation after situation to get you to regulate your intoxicity to the things that you are entertaining, right? I see glowing in your element. Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so for example, because Saturn, right? Saturn wants you to learn your lessons. Saturn's like, yo, like, when are y'all gonna get this shit? And so if you have been like an alcoholic or just overstimulated in certain things, even if it's social media, right? Addicted to social media, there's going to be a lot of situations that's going to occur for you to kind of get into a sober state and more in tune with the self, especially once the lunar nodes kind of shift. But until then, that's going to happen, I believe, July 17. And so from now to July 17, right, you kind of have about 2 weeks, right, to kind of like, you're still going to be connecting a lot of connection with others, but then July 17 you might actually just like find yourself coming into a space of more isolation, right? Which again, isolation, ice, water, right? A different form of water. And so some people, they're gonna have isolated ideas or intentions and a little bit more selfish in that way, but tempers also. And so needing to be completely mindful, because some of y'all can learn things the hard way. Well, there's also gonna be a lot of social hypnosis and programming that's going to try to manipulate people to feed themselves poison or get more acquainted with certain things, because again, Piscean energy can be very hypnotic. It's the subconscious mind. And so if you were thinking of getting into like hypnosis or yoga nidra, this would be a perfect time to get into those studies, or even just do it upon yourself and programming yourself. This is also being mindful of like protecting your energy is going to be a big must, because who you are connecting to and what energies you are connecting to is going to play a big role in the mirror reflection with Saturn being in the mix, right? That being said, a lot of contracts and your currency, okay? How are you in a space of scarcity? Is that coming up? Is there a lot of fears? Is there financial issues that's coming up? Because we know that there is a lot of financial shifts, right? And a lot of people may see certain obstacles, especially once the lunar nodes. Remember, Neptune is going to be in this retrograde till December. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think December 6th or December 9th, something like that, right? And the lunar nodes, they shift on the 17th, but that's for 18 months. So there's quite a few months where this energy is going to really, like the first what's that, July, August, September, October, November, December, 5 months, that's going to really have a big currency push, energetic push as to how we're putting our energy and reprogramming, right? Reprogramming the system, upgrading the systems, our systems, right? And then the remainder of those lunar nodes, we'll get to that when it's about the lunar nodes. I just want to stick to Neptune right now, but still, nonetheless, within that, it's within the 5 months, because it's till December. Neptune really can tell you about your dreams. So a lot of oracle messages, like I said, the prophetic messages. I don't want to keep recycling, but definitely a great time to do some like shadow work, mirror work, minding your connections and your reflections with people. This will be a good time if you utilize the energies properly, right, as opposed to like in a selfish way and isolating, right, because that could even go into a toxic route, right? But if you utilize this energy, like the Mars energy of Aries, to go get it and collaborate, y'all can do a massive shift energetically, right? But a lot of people are going to feel like they're gonna want to isolate. They're going to want to need more time for themselves. This is also a good energy of like spiritual sovereignty, in a sense, and making sure that you are minding your emotions. There we go. The emotions. And so it's going to go there. If you have been tricking yourself into not feeling emotions because you don't want to deal with it, it's the past, it is what it is, and not realizing that you are subconsciously projecting these traumas out to people, there can be a lot of rude awakenings happening during these next 5 months for you. If you thought that there were rude awakenings in the last couple of months, these are deep waters coming up to the surface to confront you. And if you don't know how to swim in the depths of your own emotions, this can feel like a difficult time. And so emotional regulation is just as important as emotional intelligence, but also doing the shadow work and emotional acceptance, right? Like, not being consumed by your emotions is how you're going to regulate the emotions. But it's also important to accept and acknowledge these emotions, as opposed to just regulating them and sweeping it underneath the rug and think that, all right, there's things I got to do. Because trust me, I get it. There's a time and a place for things, right? Saturn's like, you got a mission. You got to do things like regulate those emotions, get the task done, and then deal with them later, right? That's how I look at Saturn and Pisces. Is like, yo, I got things. I'm very emotional, okay? I can, I cry and shit too, right? But time and place for things. If it's a time for me to regulate my emotions and get some shit done, I'm gonna get that done. And then once I'm done with that shit, I'm gonna go home and I'm going to handle myself accordingly. I'm going to address these emotions accordingly. I'm going to have healthy dialogue with these emotions and get to connect it with them and understand and understand and overstand what it is that they are teaching me, what is it that they want to say, so that I don't keep the energy pent up in my body. Right? And so, again, a lot of people are going to see these emotions coming up to the surface, and you may think like, I would even say I'm hearing like deja vu. So a lot of people may experience deja vus, or even past life regressions, which, hey, if you would like a past life regression, come holla at your girl. Okay, I don't do past life regressions in the way of I'm just going to tell you a past life and it's for entertainment. No, how does your past life information, like what is important, what details are important for you, either for your progression, for your healing, or that it is important for you to utilize in this lifetime, right? And so whether you get a past life regression or a hypnosis from someone else or yourself, if you're doing it on yourself, these are the type of questions that you want to ask yourself. How does this pertain to my current situation now? You want to get back to the now. You want to bring everything back to now. You are here now. You want to call on all the soul fragmentations and splices and aspects and versions of yourself from all timelines, realms, and dimensions of existence to be with you here and now in your fullness and wholeness. And there is no separation, and really breathe into the embodiment of your wholeness and allow for that to say, okay, well, if I was, a masculine, or I was a feminine, or, I had disability, how does it pertain to my mission here and now? And how can I utilize this? And if it's something, so, some of y'all may get dormant abilities that come to the forefront, and like you're learning to work with it. Take your time. It is not a race, right? But you're going to want to make sure that you're not, if you're getting like intrusive thoughts, or, your emotions kind of feel like scattered or all over the place or delusional, that, because again, there's two sides to the coin. And so while it could be a rude awakening, there could also be some parts of like imagination is great. You want to tap into your imagination for your manifestations, right? But you also want to make sure that you're being realistic as well, in the now moment, so that way you don't put yourself in a complete space of like being delusional, right? So that's going to require you to accept your emotions for what it is, rather, and then shift it and regulate it. So like if you're angry and you want to be happy, yes, it's okay to reprogram yourself and say, you know what, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and all of these like good things. I am joyful, I am grateful, and all of that. Yes, you want to say those affirmations, but you also want to connect with that anger and see where it's rooted from and where did it come from, and say, I see you. Oh, you such a sacred rage of fire. I love you. And that giving it love will turn it into a happy rage, into a sacred rage, into a rage that it's not going to happen just because it's wants to be rebellious. It's just feeding and turn like a mold, or just a parasitic emotion or entity, thought form. You really want to take your time into getting these emotions. So if you would like to learn more tools on deep shadow work, we can talk about that as well. Excuse me. Because this is definitely, it's about shadow work, but it's also about go time. Like, this is a time of movement. This is a time of swimming through the waters, knowing the depths of how deep you are going with yourself and learning how to go deeper, but also how are you navigating these waters into like almost unknown, because if you're going deeper, that's like unknown territory, right? So going into the unknown territories with yourself, doing something new, right? Some of y'all, this could be doing something new in your careers. This could be doing something new in your house. It's going to affect everyone differently, right? This could also be that with you doing something new with yourself, that you're going to see ripple effects of changes in the people in your environment. And this is a good thing. You want to be extremely mindful of who you are connecting with. So it started last night. Hello, Connie. It started last night, yesterday, June 30th. We are in July 1st as of today. And this will be, Neptune will be in retrograde in Pisces until December. So, yes, sister, thank you. So Awakening with Sandra, I love you, I love you, I love you. Everyone, please check her out. She has awesome, just love, and her podcast and everything like that. Which I will be announcing some things also, so pay attention to that. I'm looking forward to it. Sandra, I definitely want to connect with you on some stuff, so I don't know if you're still here, if you left already, but I will be reaching out to you in the DM. All right. So yes. So making sure, yes, poisons. So again, minding, like, poisons could also be medicines, and you take that how you want to take it, whether it's pharmaceuticals or pharmaceutical, yeah. Really, really, really taking your time to go deep. Oh yeah, the shadow work. So I'm gonna leave y'all with three. I think I did leave y'all with the 3 questions already, but going into your emotions, right? Going into your emotions and asking yourself, what message do you have for me? What do I need to know? And how can I help you? A lot of the times we get so caught up with wanting to, and that's only 3. There's so many other questions you can ask, right? But we get so caught up with helping everyone else in the world that we don't always help ourselves. And then when we try to help ourselves, we don't know how to help our emotions. So get to know your emotions. What is it that it wants to tell you? What is it that you need to know? Because sometimes what it wants to tell you and what you need to know are 2 different things, which is why they're 2 different questions, right? I might want to tell you something, but what you really need to know, like I might not get straight to the point, and you might need to be like, hey, get straight to the point. And so you narrow it down. It's like if you get a reading from someone and you get a generalized reading, it can be like all over the place in a way, but you're getting, they're telling you, right, what it is, they're giving you the message. But then you can say, you know what, like, can you give me a clarifier or ask very specific questions? Now they're giving you answers to what you need to know in that specific forte, right? So this is how you want to deal, and then how can you help yourself, right? What is the advice that the emotion has? And you have to use your discernment, your healthy discernment, as to if this is advice that you want to take or not, or if you have an emotional intelligence that says otherwise, right? There's another coping mechanism, right? Because sometimes it might just want to like eat something, and that may not necessarily be the greatest, or it might want you to drink or whatever, right? Being mindful of what the advice is from that emotion, and then you can kind of see how it likes to feed, and you can say, well, you know what, if you let me eat this rather than this, or maybe, like starving it in a way of not ignoring it, but in a way of not giving it in the same exact thing so that it can help it, right? For example, a way that you starve an alcoholic to sober up is by giving them like lots of water, non-alcoholic beverages, right? You're still helping them, you're honoring them, you're supporting them. You're just not giving them alcoholic beverages. And so it is starving the alcoholic in them, but it is also helping them. I hope that makes sense. Holding back tears at the gym just from those 3 questions. Wow. Well, so ask yourself, with those tears, and honor that. Definitely, sweating is going to be a big thing. Tears is going to be a big thing. A lot of water movement for sure. And again, reprogramming your water body. And if y'all would like to get more information in regards to how to bring living water into your home, filtered water where it still has the living minerals and vitamins in your water naturally, definitely reach out to me. Or if you would like a reading, meditation, any of that good stuff, reach out to me. You can click the link on my bio and schedule there as well, or you can reach out to me directly. And until next time, peace, love, and happiness. I wanted to keep this one a short one, and so I'm going to upload it now. If you have any questions, please put them down in the question box below before I go. Yes, I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes. And if I don't see any questions, then I'm going to go before then. Oh, one thing I didn't mention also, a lot of ancestral and spiritual connections will be coming up to the forefront as well. So a lot of spiritual activity, right? A lot of spiritual activity is going to be coming up to the forefront as well. So peace, 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 y'all. Hello, Buddha. Hello, Jack. Hello. I'm actually getting done here, so if you are just coming in, please watch the replay. This was pertaining to Neptune and Pisces retrograde. And so I'm going to keep this one a short one. Peace, love, and gratitude. I'll be back later, so y'all can see me later. I hope to connect with y'all later. I love y'all. I thank y'all. Mind y'all reflections. And until next time, peace.